What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing week. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. Check out my website for more content. My contact info at legendary.vision. Check out my Twitter at legendaryenergy. Of course, follow on Facebook and donate below at the end of the video. I'll put it in the comment section. Excuse me. President Trump and Bernie Sanders are fighting over healthcare, and I have to make this live stream video. I'm going to do probably another big video about it, and I'm willing to debate any progressive on it. I've talked to Tim Black about it. I'll talk to Jimmy Dore. I'll talk to my good friend H.A. Goodman. I really like H.A. Goodman and Tim Black. They're friends of mine. I consider them actual friends over this news analysis stuff, but I was on Tim Black's video show a month ago. We talked about healthcare. He pretty much agreed with me, and then he still shills for single payer healthcare, even though when I was on his show, he had no debate for what I was saying. He's like, you're right, you're completely 100% right, you're right. And then I get off Tim Black's show, and he's out shilling for Bernie Sanders and his healthcare. That's besides the point. Like I said, outside of this news analysis, I'm friends with him, but I'm willing to debate anybody because this is very, 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 very important for our country. Tim Black, H.A. Goodman, let's talk, let's chat about it. Let's have a real conversation and not, run back to Twitter and say the complete opposite of what we said on the show. Because Bernie Sanders wants to push single-payer healthcare, and Donald Trump, of course, does not want single-payer healthcare. He said on Twitter today that if Bernie Sanders gets through with his act or bill to push single-payer healthcare, that President Trump would veto it because he loves America. I supported Bernie Sanders during the primaries. I liked his energy and whatnot, but I am telling you, Bernie Sanders supporters and progressives, I'm telling you, this is what Bernie Sanders cares about. He cares about complete, or at least partial, socialism. He doesn't care about all these things he talks about. He wants to push this healthcare bill. That's why no matter what happens, he talks about the corruption, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party. Bernie Sanders has never cared. That's why he never stands up for you. That's why he took $180 million from you and didn't say a word. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about the corruption in government. He doesn't care about the corruption among his colleagues. He's not a leader. He wants to push this healthcare bill. And I cannot break it down any simpler than showing how progressives are not progressive. That's why I have a lot of progressive supporters, but I don't consider myself progressive because the progressives like Bernie Sanders have hijacked the word progressive and tied it to single-payer healthcare. Now all progressive means is, just one single-payer healthcare. That's progressive. That's not progress. That's regression. And I'm going to tell you why. Bernie Sanders supporters, your hypocrisy. Progressives, your hypocrisy can go no further than saying this. All you talk about is how corrupt government is. All you talk about is how we need to give less power to government. It's too corrupt. It's out of control. And what is your main policy? It's to give more power to the government. You want to give more of your tax money to the people you're trying to stop. And Bernie Sanders has made no effort to stop the corruption. So it's not like he's trying to drain the swamp and clean out the government before he does all his policies. Like, yeah, we're going to give a bunch of power to the government, but we're going to clean it up first. He doesn't say that because he doesn't care, because he's a fraud, a phony, and he is the establishment. He is the Democratic Party. Bernie Sanders is not above it. He wants to go further left. And I'm telling you, it's a disaster, because you're saying the government's corrupt, but let's give them more taxes, let's give them more power, let's give them more control, and let's put the health industry, the entire health industry, let's turn it into a monopoly, a single-payer healthcare, a monopoly on the health industry, and put it in the hands of the governments. How stupid are progressives? And like I said, it's all love. I have friends that are progressives, but Jimmy Dore, H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to send you a text. I'm going to send you a message. Let's talk about healthcare, because if you're going to push this single-payer healthcare nonsense from a fraud, Bernie Sanders, that Jimmy Dore last week admitted he's a complete phony. I know Tim Black and H.A. Goodman, they're smart people. I know they could tell that Bernie Sanders is not who we thought he was when we supported him a year ago. Let's talk about healthcare. I'm holding you all to it. Let's have a debate, because single-payer healthcare will destroy America. I just talked last week to a doctor who's a very smart, very intelligent person. He knows that single-payer healthcare will destroy the health industry because nothing about it makes sense. The only thing about it that makes sense is on paper. Oh, everyone gets free healthcare. Of course, yeah. Everyone gets healthcare. It's going to be great. Everyone's going to be covered. That's not how things work. It's just not realistic. What I want to do before we even try single payer healthcare, if we don't try this, then we could go to single payer. A real free market healthcare system, competition. It's common sense, it's logic. That's progressive. Free market. I'm not talking about what it is now. It's not free. It's been hijacked by the insurance companies. It's not free right now. We've never had free market. Let's do what Rand Paul wants to do. Let's do what a lot of conservative and libertarians want to do because it makes more sense. Free market healthcare. It means real competition, not hijacked industry by 5 or 6 insurance corporations or 1 or 2 pharmaceutical corporations where they write all the rules. They're lying. They're overprescribing people. The health industry is a disaster. I said this on Tim Black, and he agreed with me. He 100% agreed with me. He had no defense because I'm right, because it's true. If we want to talk about health, I've made videos on it. Let's talk about the root causes of health. We have an opioid problem. We have a depression problem. We have the worst food in maybe the entire world. We're the greatest country with the worst food, worst mental health. We have fear, negativity, paranoia pushed to us from all sides. You think everyone getting health care is going to help people's health? Come on. How foolish are we? Let's look at the food. Let's look at the medicine. Let's look at the mental health. These are why people, they push that on us. And then they're going to just who's going to make all this money now that everybody's going to the doctor and it's single payer and it's free and it's going to be great? Where's all this money going to go? Where are all the doctors going to come from? Where are all the nurses going to come from? Where's the care and quality going to go when you have a situation where people can walk right into a hospital with a runny nose and get free care? Oh, well, I have a runny nose. Normally I would have just done it myself, but now, why not? It's free. We'll just go to the hospital. It's going to be a disaster. And I will debate any progressive. But no progressives want to debate me because when we talk about it, they either agree with me, say, yeah, you're totally right, Anamli, you're 100% right, I have no debate, and then go on Twitter and be like, oh, I love Bernie Sanders, I love single-payer healthcare. It's a disaster. Free market, a competition. When do you get the best food? Do you get the best food when you have 10,000 restaurants like in the cities? Why do cities a lot of times have the best food? Because there's hundreds of thousands of cultures. You have Asian, you have all of the Asians, you have Chinese, Thai, Japanese, Greek, American, French, all of the Indian. You have all of the foods, and if you're not good enough, if you don't have a good price point, if you don't have good food, your company goes out of business. This is free market. This is competition. Free market has been exploited in the US too, where a few corporations have destroyed that as well. That's why we need to get back to free market on that end too. But when it comes to health, you think, what happened if the food industry, instead of, hey, we want everyone to eat food. I know there's people starving, so we're going to do a single food. Everyone eats from the same food. Everyone's got the same plan, and we have all the same restaurants, and everyone can eat from it. It's a disaster. You would not get the best food. You would get the lowest quality food. It's the same thing with the health industry. You're going to get the lowest quality health. Health industry is going to go down. It's already pretty down. I don't go to the hospital or the doctor unless I need to because it's a scam right now. They feed us pills. They feed us unhealthy foods. Here, don't eat an orange. Eat orange flavored gumdrops or whatever. All this candy, all this sugar, all these terrible things for you. And then everybody's sick, and then they profit off us being sick. It's a whole manipulation industry already. And giving everyone health care is not going to change that. I said that on Progressive News, and they agreed with you. You're like, you're right, that's the root cause of bad health. It's really not the health. It's like, oh, should I pay $500 and get scammed? Should I pay $200 and get scammed? Should I have a single payer scam where I pay more money now? It's all a scam. And I'm willing to debate any progressive because this topic is going to be super, super heated over the next few months. And I will debate any progressive to the T. I will make multiple videos about it. Because it's a scam. And most progressives know it's a scam. Just like Bernie Sanders, they know he's a scam artist, but that's their identity. That's their culture now. That's their wave. I'm anti-racism. I'm anti-this. So am I. I'm anti all those things. I agree with everything that Bernie Sanders says, but I don't agree with barely anything that he does. Actions speak louder than words. I let him talk a bunch, and I watched his actions, and I saw they don't match his words. You know he's not saying anything about the DNC fraud lawsuit. You know he's not saying anything about the Democratic Party. Look at him on Jimmy Kimmel. Look at him anytime he has a radio show. He's a complete robot. He is a puppet of the establishment. They say, well, what do you think about the Democratic Party? He's like, well, I don't want to tell the truth right now. I don't want to fight the establishment. What I'm going to do is fight Trump, and I'm going to pass single-payer health care because there's low wages and high workers and high hours. And he's got the same, you pull the string, and he says the same 6 things over and over and over and over again. He's a pull-string doll. He's like, Bernie, what do you think about all the people that have died? Oh, well, people are working higher hours for lower wages, and that's just not right. Okay, yeah, I agree. Well, racism, sexism's rampant. Okay, I agree. So what are we going to do about it? Pull the string. Single-payer health care. Oh, yeah, that's going to help health. No, it's not, Bernie Sanders. No, it's not, progressives. Free market. Let's try a free market. If we go to a single payer, it doesn't work as well as people say, oh, it works perfect in Scandinavia and Sweden and Canada. I've heard conflicting reports that it doesn't work so great in Canada. Everything's perspective. Some people think it's great. Some people think it's terrible. Certain healthcares help certain people. Certain healthcares hurt certain people. But let's look at the size of our country. Let's not compare it to small countries the size of Tennessee. And think, how is this going to affect on a huge scale? Let's try it in a state first. Before we put it nationwide, let's do it in a certain state. Why would we push single-payer healthcare on the entire nation? And I'm not saying healthcare is good now. I think it's a scam now. I think single-payer is a scam. I think the Republicans' healthcare was a scam. I think it's a scam the fact that you have to pay $200 to $500 to $1,000, $2,000 every month. And if you don't, you pay a fine. That's a scam. That's entrapment to take your money. Meanwhile, the real root causes of health are hidden, or they're not really talked about because there's a massive profit to be had in the pharmacy industry. And that's fine. That's great. Whatever. Do your thing. Do your hustle. I'm not going to stop that. But I'm not going to let Bernie Sanders convince a bunch of nice people that single-payer healthcare is good, because this is what he's wanted the whole time. Look at his actions. Progressives, look at Bernie Sanders' actions. The entire time, he's told you this, he's told you that, he's told you this. This is all he wants. He wants his healthcare. He wants socialism. He wants more power to the government. They love him. They probably love him. You think the Democrats don't like Bernie Sanders? He's going to get them more power. He's going to get them more of your money. That's why Kamala Harris and all of the progressives are so foolish. I love you guys. I love you so much. I have a lot of progressive supporters. But you're so foolish that you think the word progress means single-payer healthcare. Even Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore makes a lot of sense. It's funny when he attacks the establishment and Hillary Clinton, but he's dumb as a rock when it comes to healthcare. And I'll debate him too. Let's talk, Jimmy Dore. I think you're genius, I think you're funny, but you're dumb as a rock when it comes to healthcare because you just shill with Bernie Sanders. Oh, well, single payer is great because I love all people and it's just going to be all great. No, it's not. And I'll tell you exactly why it's not going to help anybody's health. It's going to hurt people's health. Oh, it's going to help a few people. It's going to overflood all the hospitals. It's going to make the quality go way down, and it's going to make the prices potentially go up. If not, congratulations, but let's have a conversation about it because Bernie, this whole time, this is what he's wanted. He's been saying the same 5 things on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. He's a drone. You see Donald Trump's Twitter, he's a human being. He says things. He talks about the corruption. He talks about the pharmacy industry. He talks about the wars. You see Bernie Sanders' Twitter, he's a robot. He just says the same 5 things over and over and over again using tactics. Oh yeah, racism, sexism, xenophobia. I'm the man. I'm the not racist one. It's lower wages. I care about the working class people. All he really wants is single-payer health care. That's why he said nothing about the DNC fraud lawsuit. That's why he says nothing about the Democratic Party. He doesn't care. He never cared. He just wants to pass this single-payer health care bill, and it's not a good bill. I will debate any progressive. I've said this 10,000 times because I mean it. So let me know what you think. Let's have a rational discussion about it, but there's no way that we should go straight to a single-payer health care before we ever try a free market or a better option. Free market, competition, a bunch of new industries, a bunch of competition, not a single payer monopoly run by the government. How dumb is that, progressives? You guys, the government's so corrupt, but let's give them all our tax money. How does that make sense? It doesn't. And there's nothing you could probably tell me that it makes sense, because you know it doesn't. You just potentially, maybe progressives, they don't want to lose their fan base, that's the whole wave, but Nothing about it makes sense. You know it's corrupt and you want to give them 60% of your taxes? Here, take more money and control of my life. I want to be a slave. Here, take all my money so I'm dependent on your health. Oh, now where do I go? Oh, the single payer health that we all pay into one place. Oh, that sounds really progressive. No, it doesn't. Nothing about it's progressive. Bernie Sanders, Trump, Bernie might get more retweets, progressives might feel like better people, but it's a disaster. I will make another video explaining it in full, one that maybe can go more viral. I already have one. Progressives agree with me. None of them can disagree. They're like, oh, you're 100% right, but I'm going to go back to shilling for it. I'm going to hold my progressive friends accountable. Let's talk about healthcare. Let's have a real debate between two intelligent people, a progressive and me, and let's talk about single-payer healthcare, because I can't stand to see all my progressive friends shilling for single-payer healthcare, Jimmy Dore, H.A. Goodman, Tim Black, when they know it's probably not a good idea, and I've never seen them have a debate. Jimmy Dore, H.A., Tim Black, let's go. Let's talk about it. Single payer is a disaster, and I am not going to sit back and watch you destroy the entire country and destroy the health industry. Talk to some doctors. Talk to real doctors. Talk to people in the health industry. Tell them, is newscasting a right? Is the food industry a right? Oh, you have a right. You have a right to go to this restaurant and eat there at any time you want. What about the workers there? What about the people who wash the dishes and the people who own that? Is it their right to serve you? Are they slaves of you? Nothing is a right. I mean, luckily we have water here. That's not even a human right technically, because there's billions of people without clean water. So the things that we take for granted, that's not a human right. We are lucky to even have them. At any second, we could not have them. Do I think it should be a human right? Absolutely. But the root causes of health are not, oh, I need more health insurance to go to this doctor. That's not the root causes of what's making everyone unhealthy. There's a million things that go into it, and nothing that we have is a right. Of course, food and water are right, but do you get them for free? You pay for them. You pay for restaurants. You go there, they're not enslaved to you. Oh, I need food, so you have a right to serve me, and we all get the same plan, and we go there. That's not how a free market society works, and that's how we've been able to succeed and be so free. And a lot of the things that make America great, freedom of speech, amongst all of our problems, amongst all of our corruption. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's not a big pyramid scheme, but we have a lot of freedoms that a lot of other countries don't have. We have a lot of safety and a lot of security that a lot of other countries don't have. So let's not ruin it by taking away freedom of speech and taking away free market capitalism. That's what has made us be able to live their lives. That's why I'm here able to talk to you. That's why progressives have been able to make thousands of dollars a month with a cell phone and a computer. All of these people shilling for free single-payer government, single-payer healthcare. That's why we're able to make a career, because America is this place. There's certain countries, they don't even allow people to download certain apps. The government starts seizing people's property because they downloaded a certain app. This is happening in Turkey or Iran, one of them. Either way, let's talk about single-payer healthcare. Bernie's talking about it. Trump's talking about it. They're arguing about it. People are going to be like, oh, this is great. This is terrible. But I'm willing to have a full-on discussion, because I haven't seen a single rational argument of why single-payer healthcare would actually work. I would love to have it. I'm looking forward to it. I'll make better, more comprehensive videos soon. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to put my link below. I'm going to be in full force this next couple months. I have more free time now. I'm going to use it wisely and really try to make good content for you and stand up for the things that we love. Freedom of speech, equality, peace, all of these things, they're being manipulated and trying to be taken from us in the name of progressivism and in the name of anti-racism. They're using these tools to take away our rights and our freedom. It's just happening whether you're liberal, progressive, Republican, conservative, or really don't care about any of this stuff. Thank you so much. I'm going to put my link below. Have a good day.